get the gimmick and wins. From beginning to end, no gimmick. If I rep it, dude, I live it then. And you can't do it, so ain't no need for mimicking. I'm not innocent, I'm on a mission, so let me finish it. Matter of time before they summon the army in. I'm probably on the FBI's most wanted list. I'm probably gonna end up hung like an ornament. I'm on a life mission to abolish all the government.
Look around and tell me what you think, because it's coming down, are you listening? Stop and look, this is what I mean. Yeah, it's going down, it's going down. Open your eyes, the state you're in is a state of mind. Freedom disguised, the state you're in is a state of mind.
What's up? What's up? How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to the Liberty Hour. Had about a month off or so. Obviously finals will kick your butt. Had a couple people cancel on me, but I'm glad that I'm back doing this again. Officially done with finals. Officially into the summer, happy about that. Even though the weather right now, it's not summertime. If you actually go outside and you look, it's like 59, 60 degrees here in Lincoln. Got some rain that's been coming along. Definitely some awkward weather for where we live. But as I said, I'm done with finals and starting summer, and I've got another person who is done with their finals and starting summer as well, who has been my friend ever since, I want to say, the 4th grade. He goes to Azusa down in LA, and I'm glad, or down in the LA area, and I'm glad to have him on the show. He also has his own band that he just started up recently, along with some others, called A Pale Umbra. We'll be talking a lot about that. And it is my good friend, Kendrick Haskins. How you doing, Kendrick?
Hey, I'm all right. Thanks
Cool.
for having me.
Yeah, of course. No problem. I'm glad I was able to have you on. I had, my friend Eric on a few weeks ago. Talked about what he's been doing with music, EDM wise and stuff. Obviously, I've had my best, one of my best friends, Ricky, on in the past, and we talked about music with him. They're both in the EDM genre. You do more of the, indie type of stuff, like rock kind of stuff, which I really like. You guys have recently started up, you've recently started up the band, The Pale Umbra, with the rest of your members. So tell me a little bit about that and how you guys managed to start up as a band, and just tell me how that all developed, because obviously you used to be part of another band called No Food and Drink at LHS. So how did you end up starting this band at Azusa?
Oh man, No Food or Drink. That's a throwback. But actually, A Pale Umbra has existed for, I don't know, like a year and a half or more at this point, honestly. We just, didn't put out an EP until now. So the story with that is me and this guy named Simon, we were in another band. This other guy who wrote music, we were all in this music business class, and he talked to me first. He's like, "Hey, do you want to be in a band?" And I was like, "Okay, sure." And he's like, "Do you know anyone who could do guitar or bass?" And I was like, "There's 2 dudes right in front of us who play both those instruments." And so we asked them. We got together a few times and played some music. But both Simon and I were not super excited about his music. That was kind of boring, I guess. And so, one day we were practicing for some ear training class in one of the practice rooms, and I think he initially threw out the idea of starting a different band. I had been thinking about it. I just didn't want to say it, I guess, because it's kind of, I don't know, thought it was kind of mean or something. But to kind of just in spite of this other band, not in spite of it. We stayed in that band until it kind of just fizzled out, I guess. But the reasoning for it, was kind of just we weren't super satisfied with the other band. Mm-hmm. Do some of our own stuff. So yeah, it was just the 2 of us initially. I had some songs that I'd written I don't know. I took one that I'd written in high school and a few other ideas that I had started. And then I had an actual reason to finally flesh those out. Instead of just, because you always got school projects you got to do that are, writing music for different whatever things. And everything else was kind of just a side project that I hadn't finished because I had no real reason to finish it, but now I did. So, obviously I played drums. Simon played guitar. The main next instrument we needed was a bassist. And one of my friends was dating a bassist at the time. And so I don't know her super well at the time, but I asked her, and she's into jazz. She's a very, very good jazz bassist. And she was cool. She joined it, and it was the three of us for a while. And then we got a keyboardist who I know from another ensemble. And for a while, we kind of just had a handful, maybe 4-ish songs that we were rehearsing, which isn't a lot, but it's because each song in itself it's not super easy music to play, especially since I didn't have charts made for them to read. So it was partially just by listening. And well, actually, no, we didn't even have demos at the time. So it was kind of just these crappy hand-drawn charts that I had that people had to use. So, I felt bad for them, but, we made it. The next kind of phase of it was my girlfriend had a friend at a different college who was doing a senior project where he needed to record a band and make an album for his senior project. And a few bands already flaked on him. And so we got asked, or we kind of had that connection made because of my girlfriend. And yeah, we got connected with this dude and 4 other people who were all in this group together. And that started our phase of recording the material for this album. And it was absolutely insane because, this is 9 different college students all having to figure out when works to go record. And we had to go to them because they have all the recording equipment there. So literally what we would do is on Wednesday nights, we would leave APU at 8:30 at night or something, and literally would not get back to APU until 1 or 2 a.m., And then on Fridays, we would leave APU at 1 p.m. and wouldn't get back until midnight because those are the 2 chunks of time that we were able to do mostly. And, because of how much of a time commitment that was, our bassist at the time ended up, we had a talk and she was like, I can't really do this at the moment. I have other gigs I have to do, other, schoolwork. So she dropped. Sorry, did you say something?
No, I'm sorry. I'm just shuffling my papers around. You're good.
So she dropped out. Luckily, Simon can play bass, so Simon finished the bass parts for the rest of the songs. Our piano player, our keys player at the time, stayed through the rest of that. He wasn't able to come every time, but he stuck around in the band. We ended up recording, I think 11-ish, or maybe 12 songs. A few of them were covers because another kind of thing about this project is I had to write a few songs really quickly because they needed to record a full album, not just an EP. So I finished up a few songs and then wrote 1 or 2 new songs really quickly. And we did a few covers. We did a Radiohead cover and we did an Interpol cover. And it was part of the songwriting for those last few songs, and on their end, some of the production was frankly kind of rushed because they were already 6 weeks behind because a few bands already flaked on them, and it was just we just kind of had to get something done at that point. But even so, at least the songs that are on the EP, the main reason we released it as an EP is because I just wasn't really happy with how some of the songs turned out. Again, because it was pretty rushed. Mm-hmm. So the ones we did put out were ones that I felt good putting out there into the world, Mm-hmm. So yeah, so we got it all recorded. That was a freaking ordeal, and it was so much work. So being up so late, oh my goodness. But we did it, and that was I think 2 semesters ago. And we didn't release it for a while because I kept trying to coordinate between Simon and kind of the main guy who was our connection to that other group of seniors, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Just things weren't happening. Like people would like cancel, or people just couldn't do it, and because there was a little more work I wanted to have done production wise. So eventually, what ended up happening is I just sat down with Simon, and we, like, just the two of us, kind of worked on a bit of basically just some mastering at the end, and then getting it done. Well, okay. Also, another reason the EP was released is I kind of killed two birds with one stone, because I took a class called Web-Based Tools, where one of the projects was called the Online Marketing and Distribution Project, and you need to, you know, basically market a band's album or EP or something. And I was like, I can just do my own band, but that means I have to have an EP, and so that was another main motivator for getting that done. You know, kind of just, again, killing two birds with one stone.
Right.
I get an EP out there, but I also get a grade for it, so that was pretty cool. Yeah, and then in terms of lineup change, there's been a lot of lineup changes, or I guess we've gotten a lot of new members. So in terms of keys, we swapped out the first guy with one of my roommates, who is a piano player. He also plays jazz, so now he's our keyboard player. Got a new bassist, who is actually, I think, primarily a drummer, but also happens to play bass. And then I got a woodwind player to be a singer, but I might have her go back to woodwinds, or maybe do like backup vocals, because then I got someone who's actually like majoring in voice to be the vocalist now. So we're up to like, I think, like 5 or 6 members now. So
out of, I'm sorry to interrupt, out of the songs that are on the EP that you guys released, I was going to say, how many of the members from there are still members today of the group?
Just Simon and I, actually.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, Simon and I are, we started the band. We are the main ones who, I guess, yeah, we're basically just like the core of the band, I guess, you know. He did a lot of, well, he helped write Dots. That was one we wrote together. Everything else on the EP I wrote, but he helped master it, and just, the guitar is a very characteristic instrument in this genre, and like it really lets his style and his personality shine, in the way that he plays, the way that he interprets the music that I write. So they're the two core members. Everyone else was added pretty much this semester. And for this semester, aside or along with having the EP released, the main thing we've been doing is just having rehearsals every week, just to get the song, get all the new people to have the songs down. Because again, it's not easy music. So, in terms of plans for the future for that band, I think the next thing I would like to do is do some gigs. I think it's going to be a while before any more new music is released, just because that would mean, I got to write more, I got to find a way to record more. The nice thing about this group of college people was that we get to record for free, which is amazing, because that's a super rare opportunity. Recording is expensive if you are using a studio and good equipment. Mm-hmm. So it'll probably be a while before we record anything else again. And the main reason we've been rehearsing so much is so that we can go and do gigs, so we can get out there, get known a little more, hopefully get us a little money. I don't want to do it for free. I'm a musician. I shouldn't have to do it for free.
So since you and Simon are both the core members, would you say that you, when it comes to decision making for pretty much everything in the band, that you guys are pretty much 50-50 when it comes to all that?
What kinds of decisions?
When it comes to decisions for production, or when it comes to decisions for what members you decide on that you're gonna have them try out to be part of the group, how does that all get worked out? I'll get your answer actually in the next part here of the Liberty Hour. That's going to be the end of part 1. We'll jump right into part 2 right after this. Thank you everybody for tuning in. We'll be right back.
All right.